Does anybody else feel like Wizards is burying us in foils? I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Hello. Are you a victim of the Magic the Gathering curse called overfoiling? Overfoiling is a disease. It's spreading like wildfire throughout the Magic the Gathering community. If you've opened up anything recently, and I mean any product, you have an abundance of foils in all forms, and not just commons and uncommons. It's rares and mythics. It's so bad. What if you open up a collector pack and you see you have a foil mythic in the back and you go, yippee, woohoo, I hit big. And then you look it up and it costs less than a gumball machine quarter. Less than a gumball machine quarter. How could they do this to us?
Well, they did. And I don't think they're stopping, guys. And I think this is the direction that Wizards is intending to continue to go. So, I'm going to rant to you today. Yay! Kylan here with Kylan's Card Shack, starting off with a whole journey about foils. Let's go to the past, shall we? I'm going to pull out some cards from my own stuff, and we're just going to talk about them. And we're going to go down the list. Some cards, have been in my life for a long time. Some new sets recently acquired. Pretty cool. I am not against foiling, guys. Let me do a disclaimer out there right now. I am against overfoiling. And what I mean by overfoiling is I should not be able to buy a collector booster pack and get as many foil rares in it as it would take me in the past to open up 4 boxes of cards. All right. I digress. Let's show some cards right now. I know you guys are tired of looking at this guy on the screen, looking at my hands. All right, here we go. So, let's start off with the first foiling set. Now, people are going to argue with me and say, there were Urza Saga pre-release cards and Lightning Dragon was technically the original foil. Correct, it was. You're right. I'm not going to argue with you there. But this was when you would buy a box and inside of a certain number of packs, there would be foils in it. So this is Urza's Legacy right here. All right, here we go, guys. Right here is a little check mark down below. You see the little symbol in the bottom left right there? I call it a check mark. It's actually called a shooting star. So these were the original foils. They were called pre-modern foils. So we will come back to these soon, but I just wanted to show you a quick one before we move on. So what was the reason for the phase? I don't know. I can't remember the exact year they stopped doing it. But I know they transitioned into this style of foiling, which is called traditional foiling, which seems to be common. They've shifted around a little bit these days, but 8th edition was the first set they started doing it in. Now, I might get controversy from this, can't even speak controversy from this, but I will say right now that during this time, there were 2 other games that were extremely popular. Yeah, that's not foil enough. Let me pull it out so you guys can get some glitz. Lighting here isn't the greatest. There we go. Looks pretty. 8th edition foils are awesome. I still love them. And the games that were out at that time were Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And as we know, there are terms that were used called holographic. And inside of traditional foiling, they used to give this label as a holographic rainbow look to it. So they were already transitioning to follow the pattern of what other games were doing. Oh my God, what a time to be alive, right? But the thing about it was, even with the change of the foiling, they were trying to improve on quality of the card. They were trying to make it so it wouldn't warp and bend as much as it was. They were looking for solutions. I get it. They were trying to keep up with the competitive market. Sure. They didn't increase the amount of foils, though. You weren't overloaded with foils. You didn't sit there and go, oh my God, I got 80 foils here and don't know what to do with them. You would open up 36 packs and get 5, 6 foils altogether, 1 rare. Made the chase way more fun. So let's move on to something else. All right. So then they wanted to play around with the idea of foils. So let's pull out. So they even started doing stuff like this. They did the, showing you a card. They did the nice expeditions here. You can get them in foil. They did unique artwork, kept the traditional foil style. I know, right, guys? Cabinet stills, yeah, beautiful. All right. And then they even had these at the same time. These were the invocations. This thing's gorgeous. Let's see if I can pull this out without damaging it. Whoop, God, those are pretty. Very unique too. You know, people worry that these weren't going to be a hit just because they're borderline. They look nothing like normal Magic the Gathering cards, but they have been a chase and continuously have kept a lot of the sets up in value. And then they shifted to try to create more unique things like foil etching. Foil etching was a big thing. So some of the original foil etching was kind of hard to see. They were working with it. Some of them came out totally different. You get the exact same card. I wish I had a better representation. This one's pretty good looking. They used to have where one card would look like this and the other card would look completely different but be the exact same card just because of the print run. They were still trying to figure out foil etching. And I think even with Double Masters 2022 that just came out, they've improved on it greatly. Because you have, you know, this where I think this consecrated Sphinx quality is so good. Like, look at that. They really did a good job with the edging on that. It really pops. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But then, you know, Wizards wasn't done. They wanted to do some multiple other things. So they came out with, in Crimson Vow, silver screening. You guys remember these cards, silver screening? Really unique. Harder to find. Now, if you kind of look at it, it's almost like it's etched. Let's see if I can get it. See how it's like it sparkles a little bit? See how it sparkles up there? This was like a unique idea they were trying to work with, along with foil etched. They also came out with, inside of a secret layer set called Mischief, they came out with gold etch foiling, which I guarantee we'll see a lot more in the future. It's probably one of those test ideas they did with the secret layer Mischief. So then you have, which my pride and joy right here, this thing's awesome. This was double feature. Double feature is something that I've been collecting a lot of. And the reason why I've been collecting a lot of is because in every pack you open, there's a foil. Yeah, I just complained to you guys about the fact that there's too many foils. Correct. But when you open up a pack of double feature and you get that foil, it's one of the, actually probably the only set, I mean, I guess Double Masters 2022 collector packs have more value potential, but it doesn't lose its value with having so many foils in their set. Let's put that back up. It's so cool looking. So most of the foil rares in the set will increase by value about 2 to 3 times. And some of the ones that you wouldn't even imagine go up 9 to 10 times their value, which is what it used to be for foils. So the collector aspect of this set, because it got so rejected, and it got so rejected because of the fact that they didn't do much more than just take the cards from the original 2 sets, Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt, and just reprint them in a black border with a colored border on the outside of it. They made it black and white, make it that whole, you know, horror movie feel to it, which, as I've told many people, I think this is something that will catch on later on and people will fall in love with it. But right now, it's rejected. But for some reason, the foil market is popping. Look it up. Check it out. See what I'm talking about. Go on there and type in double feature. Look at the regular price of it, and then look at a foil price of it. It'll blow your mind. But if they weren't done there, of course Wizards weren't done there. They came out with retro frames too. I mean, I'm kind of jumping around right now, so we'll just go through these and just kind of peek at them. Retro frames. And it's funny because in Modern Horizons 2, you're pulling out Modern Horizons 1 cards with the retro frame on them. And this was Time Spiral Remastered with the time shifted foil. It looks so cool. These are also worth a lot because they were harder to pull. And of course, they came out with the coveted chase card, which I only have the blue one. Let's pull this out so you can see it pop. These were called Neon Ink. See, there we go. You see how the neon pops off of it? Pew, 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 coming at you. These are chase cards, only in collector packs inside of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. When it first came out, everybody was all about chasing these, and they realized they are rare. Some people were fortunate enough to get them. Some people have probably spent way too much money and gotten none. I recommend this point in time, buy them off a friend or off of TCG for all I say. All right, so then inside of the same set, they added some foil etched showcase cards too. Take a little peek, see this Wandering Emperor. Wandering Emperor, one, is a very playable card, but two, golly. I was so happy when I opened this. Very lucky, very lucky. Foil etching is probably going to be something that's staple points in Magic for a long time. Hence why I showed before this foil etch version in the new Double Masters. And then, inside of Streets of New Capenna, they brought in gilded foils. Now, gilded foils are pretty cool. You see how like the border kind of comes out. Actually, you can feel it. It's almost like texture on the edges. Definitely pops off. You know, and it's funny because Streets of New Capenna is, you know, the newest standard set out right now. Well, it's Dominaria United knocking on the door. But I don't know why this isn't doing as well as it should. It should be hitting. These are not popping yet. Nobody seems to be jumping on them. So, not financial advice, but you know, it might be time to pocket a couple of these, save them to the side. Who knows? Maybe Wizards, this is a one of, and they won't come back with the gold foil for a while. It might be a good opportunity to save some up. Who knows? Maybe the next set will have them. I don't know, but it wasn't an idea that they've really thrown back out there yet. They haven't really talked about it since they did it. So this might be unique just to Streets of New Capenna for a while. And of course, like to finish it off, just to brag about my recent catch. You know, then they keep up with these foil borderless cards that are here to stay, really making the full art pop with the foiling. And of course, I don't own any texture cards, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I did, but I don't. But I don't know if anyone's been researching. I haven't seen any pictures of it yet. They're already coming out with new foiling for the new sets, and they've already talked about it. Infinity. It's gonna have a thing called Galaxy foiling, where it's gonna have basically like stars in the background popping out of it, coming at you. And then the Warhammer Modern, or the Warhammer Commander, is gonna have this thing called Surge foiling, which I couldn't find anything on. It's just a teaser. I have no idea what it's gonna be, but we have to wait and see. But I don't know. You open up a collector pack and you get so many foils these days. So why I said earlier that pre-modern foils are harder to find, harder to get, is because they're so foreign. They're so less. But so what I've been doing is I've been buying up the commons, buying up the foil commons. Yes, sir. Going crazy on them. Lots of foil commons. If I find a deal on them, snag them. And my joke is, these are going to be the new reserve list cards of the future. Right here. Hard foils to get. Now, maybe I'll come back with a video and kind of go through a lot of these, show them off. Chunks and chunks and chunks. But this is one thing I talked about in an old video, or I think last video I posted. Right here. It's the way anything that was a multicolored creature looked with its foiling and how it popped. I highly recommend picking a couple of these up. Take a quick little look. And of course, you can go on right now. Most of these lands, $3 to $5. The old foil lands. Some are more. People love them. They like to make play sets with them. Absolutely incredible. All right, guys. Just sum up really quickly, since I was just kind of showing off some collection ranting. Wizards need to pull back on their collectibles. They need to pull back a little bit on their foils that are coming everything now. They need to stop funneling it out. And then they need to go back to cards like this. Chase cards inside of packs. This foil attrition is over $50. And I don't see it going down in value. It's locked in for what it is. Gorgeous card, by the way, but it's not going to change. So just to finish it off and say one last thing, slow them down, Wizards. Slow them down. You might be more people buying collector boxes and chasing after things, and value might go up if you don't put so much into it and you limit it just a little bit. And you keep regular rares and regular mythics keeping their value forever. Until the reprint, of course, which, that'll be probably the week after that with the way they do it. But hey, you know what? Love it. Love it. All right. Done complaining about this. Stop foiling so much. I'm out.